Welcome to the DVERT Brief. I'm Dr. Meg McBride, Director of the Domestic Violent Extremism Research and Translation Center at CNA. This podcast series highlights new research, trends, and findings on violent extremism in America, designed for policymakers, practitioners, and anyone curious about the evolving domestic threat landscape. This AI-generated podcast delivers concise and accessible summaries of our latest work. Thanks for listening.
In today's episode, we'll be exploring key insights from our explainer on the true crime community. Please note, if you are concerned that someone you know may be involved in the true crime community, reach out to a trusted community organization or leader for help. In the case of an imminent threat of harm, call 911. Okay, let's dive in.
On September 10th, 2025, a 16-year-old opened fire at a high school in Evergreen, Colorado, injuring 2 other students. In the aftermath, what stood out was the online trail this young person had left behind. His TikTok profile photo was a modified image of the perpetrator of the 2014 Isla Vista attacks. He had posted photos of another school shooter, and other users in the comments were openly encouraging him to carry out an attack.
That's deeply disturbing. But even more so, this was not an isolated case.
Not at all. The Evergreen shooting followed a series of attacks where the perpetrators were connected to the same online subculture known as the true crime community. Between 2024 and 2025, the TCC was linked to at least 7 school shootings and 9 attempted shootings in the United States, and at least 6 international attacks and plots.
Those numbers are concerning. So what exactly is the TCC?
The true crime community is an online subculture defined by its fascination with high-profile mass killers, especially school shooters and mass shooters. It's heavily influenced by what's known as the Columbiner fandom, which is dedicated to the perpetrators of the 1999 Columbine high school shooting. Some Columbiners have gone on to perpetrate their own mass shootings, including the 2012 shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary School.
So this isn't just about people being interested in criminal cases.
Exactly. The concern isn't simple curiosity. The issue is that these spaces often blur the line between discussing violence and glorifying it. Participants create and share shooting-related artwork, references to music or other media favored by previous attackers, and use community-specific hashtags and symbols. They may use shooters' names as their own usernames or write those names on personal belongings, sometimes forming one-sided attachments to previous shooters.
That's chilling. But I want to make sure listeners understand, this isn't a formal group.
That's right. There are no membership cards or official leaders. Instead, it's a loose network of online spaces where people share content focused on past attackers. But in these spaces, there is a shared culture of glorifying violence. Perpetrators of past attacks become celebrated figures. While most TCC participants will never become violent, those who do pay tribute to past perpetrators and leave behind online content for the community to pore over. It's a self-reinforcing cycle. Shooters earn clout and fame in the very same forums they once frequented as fans, and their attacks can become models that inspire future attackers, sometimes within a very short time frame.
So what drives individuals to participate in this community?
Anyone can be involved, regardless of age, gender, race, or beliefs. But the more extreme corners of the TCC tend to attract young people with unmet social or emotional needs, individuals experiencing social isolation, bullying, or mental health challenges.
That makes sense. If you feel rejected or invisible, a community that offers belonging starts to look appealing, even a harmful one.
Precisely. There are 2 key poles. One is emotional, a sense of connectedness and status within a community. When other users like your posts or invite you into private chats, you feel seen and validated. The other is aesthetic. The TCC feels edgy, transgressive, exclusive. There's a sense of, I know something you don't. For young people who feel marginalized, it becomes an outlet for expressing sadness, exploring violent fantasies, and building a public persona.
It's notable that the TCC does not exist in isolation. It's connected to a broader online ecosystem of harm, including some even more dangerous networks and subcultures.
Right, and the lines between these communities are pretty blurry. One is called Terrorgram, a network on Telegram and other sites that promotes white supremacy and actively encourages political violence and terrorism. The 2025 Antioch high school shooter, who was active in the TCC, plagiarized large sections of his manifesto from Terrorgram publications. There's also something called the COM, a set of online networks that engages in a variety of online and offline crime. And then there are gore sites. We have separate podcasts on these if you'd like more information.
For practitioners and caregivers listening, what should they actually be watching for?
We break warning signs into two categories, online and offline. Online, look for someone repeatedly researching or discussing past shooters, sharing or saving photos and videos of mass casualty events, directing humor or praise at those events, spending excessive time online in isolation, or participating in fringe, invite-only, or unmoderated online spaces. Offline, the signs include sudden or significant changes in behavior, including self-harm or expressions of suicidality, mood changes, expressions of hopelessness, low self-esteem, or hatred of humanity, deteriorating mental health overall, and a growing fascination with violence.
Importantly, none of these signs automatically mean someone is involved in the TCC or planning violence, but they may signal a need for closer attention and supportive intervention to address potential underlying issues.
Absolutely. Early intervention with supportive resources matters enormously for assisting youth for whom removal from school or public embarrassment could be significant stressors that increase the threat.
So the implication for schools and practitioners is to invest in training around these online ecosystems, to be able to recognize the language, the symbols, the behavioral patterns.
Exactly. School counselors and administrators need to be fluent in these spaces, not just aware that they exist, but able to identify what involvement actually looks like. And caregivers need to be having open, ongoing conversations with young people about their online lives. Parental controls alone won't cut it. This content is accessible on mainstream platforms, TikTok, Reddit, Discord, even Minecraft and Roblox. The more we understand about how this community works, the pull factors, the aesthetics, the community dynamics, the better equipped we all are to interrupt that pathway to violence before it ends in tragedy.
This podcast was produced with the assistance of artificial intelligence tools, but the content was based on research done by the DVERT Center, which is embedded within CNA, a nonprofit research and analysis organization dedicated to advancing the safety and security of the nation. Production of the DVERT Brief is supported by the National Institute of Justice under Award Number 15 PNIJ 24GK00750 DOMR. The opinions, findings, and conclusions or recommendations expressed in this podcast are those of the authors and do not necessarily reflect those of the Department of Justice.